Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on episode 182 today. Today we're going to color in small victories. Thank you for visiting my channel today, and welcome back if you are returning. I had hoped that my Arrtx Harmonious set would have arrived today, but it is not arriving until Wednesday now. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to use Arrtx, which is the first set in round 4. And for round 4, I am hoping to get through everything before I leave on the 29th. I have to actually do the final layout of how many I will be doing based on the images that we have coming up. And so I want to do a tier list rating. I wanted to do it for round 3, but then started in doing my big version. So I've now done that for a few weeks. I've got a good rhythm going. So I will do my tier review of my sets at the end of round 4 instead. So I still want to do the harmonious set, coloring each one of these little flowers. I think they counted like 82 flowers. So I can skip some of the, like that really tiny one in the back, there's like 3 in a row. So I should be able to go through all of the colors. I will not even open the tin until I color, and it will be Wednesday. I have coloring class on Wednesday. That's from 4 to 7. And at 2 o'clock I have a doctor appointment. So I have a couple of options. I could either get up really early, which I'm not an early bird, so getting up early is no small thing for me. I could skip my swim class, which I go to every day that it's nice. And if the harmonious are here, the problem is I have to wait till they actually arrive at the mailbox. So it is possible that I will be doing the first look and coloring this image Wednesday evening after coloring class, which would be around 8 o'clock. Sometimes I do color really late, so that's not a problem. And now that I have fixed my internet upload issue, it should upload quickly. So today we're going to do Arrtx here, and then we move on to me playing with jars. And since it'll be a fairly new attempt for me at doing large jars, I've done small ones. Let's see, I did them back on the shelf page. I did these 2, and so they came out nicely. So I will get a chance to repeat my strategy with these bigger jars. I believe since they're so big, it will be 1 jar per set. When I did my rotation with the random numbers, I actually did merge the professional sets in with the budget sets. So everybody is all in a big lump. What I didn't have, harmonious is going to be number 2. So I am just arbitrarily saying when our harmonious comes here, when they get here on Wednesday, it will be one of my sets in round 4. So it'll be fun to see. I'm going to try to keep track of some statistics on them and see if I can maybe shake loose my sets. Don't get me wrong, I do like all of my sets. There's only 2 that are definitely subpar because of them being very inexpensive, but they still have their place and I will still use them. Granted, they probably will not win my tier rating, but I'm curious if, depending on what I'm coloring, and if I try to step it up a little bit on a couple of them that have rated not as high as I would have expected, we'll see if I can make some adjustments to move them up a little bit in the tier ladder. So more on that as the month progresses. For this little image here with the tulips, now I am using the Arrtx right now in the big. So I have a lot of earth tone type colors, navy blue and dark green. I'm making, it's kind of a neutral palette, or even on the masculine side palette. So since I have these little tiny tulips, I thought it would be fun for me to take my color combo chart here, and I think I'm just going to go through and pick. It should be quick. I know that I was able to color these images very quickly, so if I go ahead and do a little bit of my prep during the coloring, I think it will work. I do have my big case. These share a spot in a 250 case with my Starjoy Golds. So I'm just going to start with the first color combo, which is called Daffodil. This particular chart, by the way, came this way. It was for the Arrtx. Let's give a little credit to coloringqueen.net is where this original combo sheet came from. Since then, I found some other person making a combo sheet, and I should just make my own, because it does really bother me that these lines are black and then there are a couple of not solid filled in lines and then back to black again. So someday, I also feel I can get more combos than the 5 per row. I kind of like the 6 combos per row of the coloringqueen.net. So thank you, coloringqueen.net. As I have told you guys, I am a YouTube coloring channel lurker. I am always out there. In the morning I wake up, and if I'm awake early, I will go onto YouTube and see what new fun coloring videos have been released overnight. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the color Daffodil, and let's see if I can fairly quickly grab 3. Most of her color tones, if they had 3, I added 2 more. So all of them have at least 4 to 5. So I'm going to see if I can move this around. I don't have my Lazy Susan. I found these cups at the Dollar Tree that were size huge. And I'm not holding my book, so it's sliding all around. Not ideal, but that's okay. So again, I have been using Arrtx. Let's zoom in a little bit. I also discovered, so I've been using Arrtx in big. But I did not think to take them out of the rotation. And my lighting I'm sitting in the recliner again. Again, it's a thundery afternoon. I can hear thunder in the distance, but typically where we are seems to be in like the rain shadow, and so we won't get any rain here, though we have dark clouds all around us. So because the afternoons have been getting pretty dark in this rainy season that we get in Florida, I have shutters for my living room window curtains, and they're wood shutters, and I have always just rotated the slats so that I can see out. And I've lived here, what, a year and a half, and I thought I just need more light. So now I get up in the morning and I just open the shutters so they open inward, and I had to move some decorative stuff kind of out of the way so that I can physically get the shutter doors to open all the way. But it does make the lighting a lot better. All right, so I'm just going to do some different colors, and I'll probably pick some random flowers to do. This would be kind of like the tritone type I'm just picking 3. Like Coloring Bliss, they like to do the blending thirds, and that's what I'm going to do with these, and just see what I think of coloringqueen.net's color combos. These pencils just really feel like they fit like a glove. I'm very used to them, and they have a glossy, heavier barrel. The diameter of the barrel is pretty beefy, and so they do feel a lot like polychromos. And I know that some people use these as a substitute for Prismacolor, but to me, I'm not a Prismacolor person, and so I feel that these just are a nice, well put together pencil. I've never had any issues with the cores cracking, splintering. I don't get a lot of crumbs at all, and they are just a nice feeling, very good all around pencil. I think they're priced very competitive. I would not mind, with as much as I do enjoy them, I would not mind a second set. But now that I have collected so many, so there's nice a three set of, let's make sure that this is focused. I'm trying to, there we go. I did zoom in. That seems to be focused. So those 3 are the yellows. It's called Daffodil. It does go only 1 color lighter, and the lightest color looks a little bit like a lemon yellow, but this is such a small image. I don't think that it's appropriate to have more than 3. I think 3 is plenty. I am now going to do a red. It is called Poppy, and I really like, I'll have to kind of stretch. There's 5 in this combo, so I'm for sure going to pick the darkest and the lightest, and then one of them in between is what I'll try, and we'll see how that works. So I think, because clearly I am going to be taking too long, these are not easy to read, so I'm going to grab the first row of colors that are very pretty. Poppy red, very violet. I've already done Daffodil, so I'll skip Daisy because it's just an oranger version of Daffodil. I like the Hot Stuff one because that's pink. There's a really soft peach, and then I think we will color with those and go from there. All right, I am back. I have a set of, I see 6 sets of colors. So I was working on combo number 2, which is called Poppy, and it has 3 tones. I am going to do my best to read. I can read the names better than the numbers. So from light to dark, Carmine Red, which is 3186, Crimson Red 3280, and Tuscan Red 3311. So here's what the tips look like. The middle one has been sharpened by me. The other 2 are as they come from the factory. So we're going to start with some dark down at the bottom. All right, I get to try to cut. That's, my thing fell over, my stand. It was not properly balanced. Okay, so we are starting with the darker at the bottom of the flower. The biggest thing with this set, as I have mentioned before, is the barrel colors. So I can't really go by the barrels at all. And it means when I'm looking for pencils, I have to have my swatch sheet. And it is more time consuming than I wanted to take. on film. So that's why I figured I would collect a series of combos so we can just try some of them out. The text, as I've said, on the pencils for the color names is pretty legible, but the number is very tiny. And it also has a leading number. I think it's 3,200. No, it's even longer than that. It's maybe 3,600, but there's this ACP001 3,600, and then that little tiny number AT3156? 3186. I had to cheat and look on the sheet. So that is a problem with these, given that I am changing out my pencils almost every day. So I have to keep everything rotating quickly. It means that at this point, so that's a nice blend. It is called Poppy. And I can see the color makes sense for what it is. Even with it as small, I can see the dark leading to the sort of salmony coral top color. I went ahead and added 2 more icy to go even lighter, but for these small images, we don't need to go any lighter. I did choose to, I was going to ignore Daisy because I did Daffodil, but I thought, what the heck? So I have all 3 of the Daffodil colors. There are a total of 5 on this one, and I just stopped at the 3rd one because they, again, just get lighter yellow. So starting with the light to dark, I skipped A1025 and went right to light yellow. We'll see if that works for me. Yellowed orange is 1050, and orange is 3060. So you can see that this orange looks like a rust color, but it is not. It is a vibrant orange, and you can tell what I use to kind of see what's going on. I will look at the cores, and the cores are a better indication of the color on these. So you can see that this looks like a tan, maybe a mustardy tan, and look how orange that is. Same with this looking like a rust. It's like all of their tones, not all of them, but a lot of their tones are a muted palette on their barrel colors. So that is a bright orange, and we're going to see that right now because I am going to go ahead and I will color. So you see how bright orange that is. I'm just picking 3 random flowers, and here is the color. You see that is a very rusty brown, but the color is vibrant orange. I would still say that these aren't as vibrant as the Prismacolor pencils are. They are, I even think the Brutfuner and Color palette is a brighter palette than this, but this is a very nice palette for the 126. I like that they went the extra 6 to give us a little bit more to choose from. So that was the middle color, and now we're going in with the yellow, and the yellow has not been sharpened. It is the sharpness of how they come in the box. I know so many people want to, oh, and then here, now this is interesting. So let's just see what this is all about. I think we have a tip cracking. Did I not say that we hadn't had any crumbs or cracking? So there's our first one right there. Nothing too exciting. It is, since it hasn't been sharpened, that is how it's sharpened in the factory. And here's the 3, this is called Daisy, and how it compares to the Daffodil color palette. It has a lot more orange in it. I have one more fun red. It's called hot pink though, but it does have 3 colors. I went ahead and added 2 more, but I don't think it will change the way this color looks on these tulips. So we are gonna go from light to dark. Some interesting names. We've got Baker Miller Pink, AT4005, Rose Red, 3111, and a very hard one to pronounce, quinacridone. I think that's correct. Quinacridone Violet, 4280. That's a very fancy name. We're going to try that one first because it's the darkest, and let's see if it lives up to its name. I really do like to play around with different color combos, see which ones I like, make them even more interesting if they've only got 3. I prefer on my coloring projects to go at least 5. This is a very nice color combo. This is again called hot pink. I probably put too much of the dark color. Let's go ahead and put so A3111 is really the hot pink of the deal, and then this one is the lightest color. And that has a very nice feel to it. So we've done 2 yellows, the poppy, hot pink, which I actually think, let's do one more. I'm curious if I just use, we'll do this one. So this really is the hot pink part right here, the middle tone, which is 3111, Rose Red. So if we do almost all of the flower in the hot pink part, and then just go a little bit, this is the Baker Miller pink, and then pop in at the very bottom with an unsharpened this is that really long name, quinacridone Violet. So if I leave it to just that little bit of violet, I love that this bright pink is sharpened. They have a very long core, nice and big. You can see here's the ones where I put the quinacridone Violet down first, and I did too much of it. So here's where you get a little more of that hot pink showing through. This is kind of another fun exercise with these is trying out the different colors, in this case the combos. Next we have purples. I have a fun purple. It is a set of lights. So I want to show you, here are the 4 barrels. I will put them in what I think is the order. I'm gonna say this way. Okay, that looks light to dark to me. But I am gonna bring up the paper and show you that the combo actually looks like this, and it's not a light to dark combo, really. I mean, in a way it is, but you can see it when it's spread out. So this would be fun. When I do my hydrangeas, I like to use those same type of colors, and I will change the color of the different flowers. so that they look varied, because they all are varied in real life. So if I do something like that here, I don't know how good a tulip is gonna look if I am trying to vary these colors a little bit. And I do have my sharpener close by that if I need to grab it, I will. I'm gonna see. I've done the darkest, I've done the lightest. And now this is one of the middle tones. So this one, I haven't even told you the colors, have I? I am so silly. All right, so lightest is lavender, 40-40. Yes. Lilac is the next one at 41-54. Parma Violet is 41-66. And then Orchid Purple is 41-10. So see that dark color? I'm going to bring you back up my sheet. Look how dark purple that is. This color is this color. So if I switch to the tips, let me make sure of that. 41. Oh, that is not it. 41-10. Oh, it is it. 41-10. Yeah, look how dark that tip is. So you can't even use the tip for your hint. So you definitely have to watch your barrels and your cores on this one. Yeah, see how bright that is? That is nothing. I'm going to come over to one of these. Here, let's color this one. Look how bright that is compared to the very dark purple tip and the barrel. Interesting. So I have just learned that I have to trust my swatches and use my swatches with the Arrtx. So this would be a great combo to use. Is called, again, Very Violet. A great combo for hydrangeas. Let's pick a third one. We'll come up here. Maybe I'll do this one a lighter. So those were the two lightest colors. And here is the not that violet-y color. This one is Parma Violet. So that's a fun combo. Again, great hydrangea combo. And the next one is a 3-color purple. It's called Pretty Purple. And it actually has a 4th color, so let's see. I was able to get the lightest, which is 4139, and I need to grab 4166 from the Very Violet, which is the 4166 right here. All right. So this one it matches much more closely with the color on the page. All right, so Parma Violet 4166, Ultramarine Violet 4170, and then 4171 Violet. So the only color in this set that I question the barrel color on is how this is almost black, but this is the color that it is. And I think between 4171 and 4170, they're both equally as dark. All right, so let's color, starting with the darkest color, a few of these, see what it looks like. second darkest color. So I feel that these both are like just different tones, but they're the same darkness. This one is more purple and one is more violet. Going a little bit lighter. And then I have a little bit left on these two with the very lightest color, which is very, very soft. So I really like that this blend in 4 colors goes very light to very dark, which I really like. I am going to go away and pick some more colors. We've got more flowers still that need to be colored, and I'll just be back in a flash. All right, I have rounded up and one more set of fun floral colors and a green set for all of the leaves and stems. So down further on this page actually is a really nice orange that goes light to dark. Again, I think these tones are on the dark side compared to what the vibrancy is when you actually put them on paper. So the lightest is yellowed orange. We actually used that on the daffodil, I believe. 1050. Nope, we used that on the daisy. So now that is now the lightest color. And then 3060 is orange. That also was used on daisy. That was the darkest, and it's the second lightest for this particular combo. Poppy red, 3080, and crimson red, 3186. And as you can see, look how dark these look. The combo actually looks like that. And here's how dark the barrels are. So I know I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but I definitely can't reiterate enough how on this set, though beautiful pencils, and they go down beautifully, the barrels just don't match. So let's go ahead and get 3 oranges. Maybe we'll work on some of these small ones. And then I have a teal, 2 blues, and then I've got a set of greens that we can play around with to finish. Oops, I should not have done 2 very close together like that. And it'll be hard to actually, with these small images I picked, use all 4. Oops. Just wanted to make sure that we were focused. So these are what I would consider an insta blend. The minute you take the lighter color and you go in your small circles right over and you overlap with the lightest or the next darker color, it's an insta blend. And I really find the insta blend pencils very nice. These also, if you'll notice, they fill in the tooth instantly. They don't require layering on this paper anyway. They are just a one and done, which is very nice. I think I'm going to go ahead with as many flowers as I have left, and I'm going to do another big one. I think I will do this one at the top. Change up the color, that's the darkest. And this is the second darkest. Now we're into this is the orange. And now the yellow orange. So these pencils, I am a very, very slow colorist. I do prefer light layers. So if the pencil has the tendency to do the light layers, I'll just roll with it. I don't ever feel frustrated or rushed. But then when I pick up these pencils, I really love how quick they are to use. The other set that is the same is the Arrtx in a very small. This is this image here. You just put the color down, and then when you start overlapping the colors, it's just an insta blend, as I just called it. Okay, so that was the oranges, and it is called orange, and it is down in it's down in the skin tones. Pretty purple and orange on that sheet are down in the skin tones. I don't know why. So I like this aqua. It is called bright blue, but I call it aqua blue. I've grabbed all four because the lightest color here we're going to use in a couple of different combos. So it is, yeah, I have them all reversed. Let's go light to dark. Lots of flowers still to color in here. I will say this is a very blue heavy set, which I like. I would not mind more greens. I am always and forever wanting more greens because there are so many different types of greens. But the blues are well represented on this set. Okay, so 2002 is pastel blue, and it is a neutral blue. If you look at the tips, it's almost like a cornflower or periwinkle, very, very light. Light aqua is 2071, jade blue 2080, peacock blue 2050. And we're just gonna find some flowers that need a little attention. This is again one that I have not sharpened yet, and I did relocate my sharpener, so it is right here. Just like that. And they do make a super long tip. So your first sharpen that you do with them, you will find that you have to sharpen quite a while before it actually gets the angle correct because it's a bigger diameter. Yeah, that's lovely. And this light blue, just on the very tips, it's just an instant wonderful blend. Let's pick a couple more. Do that one and this one. These are so small. I'm going to be hard pressed to leave room for the lightest 2002. I typically also, if you haven't noticed, I use this lightest color. If I'm still kind of toothy, I will use it all over the whole area to get it to burnish. That's my typical plan of action. So that's she calls it bright blue. I call it aqua blue. And then I am doing a medium blue. I had to pull the somewhere here is, oh, those are the greens, so it must be this one. Right here is indigo blue, and I have two color combos for this one. And I will have to refer to my list to see if these are correct. I'm gonna say that I grabbed this cornflower blue to do a little bonus one. So this is called medium blue, I believe. Cannot read that. It's getting dark. Deep sky blue. And since I cannot read that number, it's 2025. Yeah, actually this 2002 needs to come out. That's the lightest. And then 2025, 2035, cerulean blue, and then the indigo blue, 2115. I think I'm missing one color in here that I'm going to see if I can get away with not using it. It is over on my other Lazy Susan, and it is called True Blue. This indigo blue is just a really nice color, and it feels really good. I always expect the dark colors to feel a little bit on the greeny side, and not so with this set. Lovely. So let's pick this one. We're going to be left with a bunch of tiny flowers, aren't we? Cerulean blue is the next darkest. And I do like these sharpened, especially for something as small as these. You can see shadow. It's getting dark out. I am going to bring a little light. This is the third lightest, and it is called the Deep Sky Blue, and it is 2025. The lightest blue is 2002, pastel blue. There's also a pastel green that I like as well. I'm going to leave in my hand 2002. I grabbed cornflower blue here. What number is this? 201, cornflower blue, 2019, and 2022. I guess I'm not using 2022. Is light cerulean blue. I did not grab that. Let's just see how I thought we could do this little cornflower on a couple of these little guys. Little teeny tiny ones. And then top that off with 2002. And now I am curious what happens when I continue on these little tiny ones to do the reverse. I don't do it very often, but it's not that I wouldn't like it. I always tend to have the base of the flower petals be the darkest, but that is not always true. So there's that. Those look very cute. Now we have the last fun blue tone, and I'm looking at the big flowers left, and then I have some orange, the orange one that I started with that I can use. So I have to pull. This is called bright green, but it is not really. It's goes from a very light green to a dark blue. Indigo blue is the one I need from the blues, I think. Yep. All right, so this looks like this is very beautiful. I love it. It starts with Chartreuse 5036, goes to Parrot Green 5140, on to Ocean Green 5149, and then you finish off or start, if you're starting like I do, with the dark 2115 Indigo Blue. So we are going to finish up some of these last big flowers with a couple of different combos of what is called bright green. I have to make sure I leave a little bit for the very top because it's the, oops, pardon me. Whew. Yep, gotta leave a little bit for the chartreuse at the very top. Okay, now I'm gonna, with a couple of them that I have left, I'm gonna ignore the indigo now and start with the ocean, right, ocean green. Go to the parrot green. Chartreuse is the last one. Chartreuse is 5036. That parrot green was, sorry I hit the camera, stop. 5140. All right. Almost done. I told you I had the oranges. I have 4 oranges out, and I only see 1, 2, 3. Oh, and this teeny tiny one here. So let's grab the oranges, and I'm just gonna start and do this little tiny one. This is the second darkest. And then I want to grab the darkest color. This is the crimson red. And I am going to put this at the tips. Next is poppy red, 3080. Oh, and I even see one. This is the lightest. And I was playing with this one, so we'll just go ahead and fill that in. And last but not least, we do have this little guy. And then we have greens and we're done. Yeah, these are really good. Good pencils. All sorts of fun colors. All right, greens. I grabbed what's called leaf green. This is not a color of my making. This is one from the color Queen. So she created leaf green from these three colors, and they are True Green, 5066, Emerald, 5159, and Dark Green, 5511. So we'll try to vary some of what we're doing here. I could make this much sharper. Gonna come in with the middle one. Middle green is Emerald, 5159. Sharpen that one too. I did not think it was possible, but the leaves and foliage is even smaller than the flowers. My goal is to have these vary. I'm going to sharpen. This is the lightest green, which is True Green. There's a True Blue and a True Green, just like a pastel blue and a pastel green. And though I start with the darks, I will show you that if I start with the lights, if I'm concerned about the pencil not going down so well, if there's too much, I will leave. There's an example of one where I left the bottom with some tooth, because this is a really smooth paper, so you don't want to overfill the tooth and then not have anything for that pigment to grab onto. But it does work. There we go. And I think each set of pencils behaves a little different, so you just have to get to know them. Well, I think this is a happy little field of flowers. And yes, I know some of you say, why are you even coloring that page? Because I am coloring the entire book. So I tried to make the most of this page, do a lot of practice, try some different things. I actually don't just play with color combos very often, and I probably should spend more time. I created the combo sheets and did all the colors. And now I have to decide. So I'm going to probably do something with the background. I'm not sure what. Some sort of embellishment, some sort of treatment to change it up. And I will surprise you guys with it. I've done on Sunday. So this one will have, I'm still targeting the harmonious with that, with every color represented. I think that's a fun idea. This won't have a background. I did my shadows. I did a background on the fish, the one fluorescent fish. I did black for my diamonds and hearts, and then this is actually, I think it was hydrangea was the background color. It was a purple. So I will do something with this. I can clean up. I see I went over the line, so I'll clean up that a little bit. But very vibrant color palette. Love the Arrtx. Tomorrow you will see them again. I will have to painstakingly make sure that indigo and then dark green have to go back on my other Lazy Susan for tomorrow's episode of Big, which I can't wait to do. Here's indigo blue. There, I've already pulled them out. So hopefully you found this fun, and if you didn't want to actually color this yourself, you still got to see some fun color combos. Is that you can go to coloringqueen.net and pull down her Arrtx color combo sheet, and I would imagine she maybe has more. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and I will see you all tomorrow for coloring in Romantic Country. See you then.